What is up, everybody? My name is Dox. I'm MC. And today's episode is going to be a little different because this is actually our first time covering something outside of sports. A lot of people don't know this yet, but the Double Play was never meant to be just a sports show. You're right. The name Double Play is actually a double entendre. So, sure, it sounds like a baseball reference, but it also ties into the idea of covering two sides of the culture we love. So, today, we're taking that literally. We're breaking down the movies and television we watched throughout the month of November. What stood out, what didn't, everything in between. Let's get into it. But before we get into it, I gotta say that November was a hectic month for me. So I didn't get to see as much as I normally would. But the stuff I did watch, especially what my brother and I saw together, is definitely worth mentioning. So let's start with the films and shows we watched side by side, and then we'll break down the rest. Right. So, where should we start, Jose?
I think we should start off with a movie directed by someone that I'm speaking for you in this aspect, but as this director probably made us way more engaged and added to the love that we have when it comes to film. And his name is Chris Stuckman.
Yeah.
And Dax, get into Chris. Tell him what he does.
Yeah. So the first thing we watched together this month was Shelby Oaks, right? It's directed by Chris Stuckman, who's a YouTuber that I've been watching since middle school. Honestly, my favorite YouTuber. Honestly.
And he put me on him probably a decade ago. I've been watching Chris for at least over a decade.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, a big reason why, and you will learn this more as you watch the show, but I am a big horror fan. I love horror movies. Big reason why is because of him, actually, because he's a chicken. He's a chicken, but I love horror. Big reason why is because of Chris. And so it was kind of surreal.
So, but tell him. So Chris,
yeah, I'm right. I'm gonna tell him.
Okay, tell him.
It's kind of surreal watching someone you grew up watching on YouTube actually make that jump to the big screen. Like, that's big.
Yeah, but tell him what Chris does on YouTube.
Chris, for years, reviewed movies, right? And
because he would get the early premiere access, he watches these movies, and he'd drop a 5 to 7 minute YouTube video explaining his thoughts, and it was just so insightful, and he was so knowledgeable, and he's a cool dude.
Exactly.
So we related to him
100%. And then sometimes he'll review his favorite movies, and then he'll have this every October he reviews his favorite horror movies, and that's probably like why I'm really into horror, because of his horror reviews throughout October. But anyways, it was surreal watching his jump to the big screen. Like it felt really cool. I'll be honest, I wasn't a big fan of the movie itself.
Yeah, but you have to remember too, he's been trying to get this movie out for a long time. I remember almost 5 years ago, we were watching one of his videos, and he made Shelby Oaks. It was a short film, I believe, right? It was a short film.
He wrote the film, and it was getting backed by his fan base. But I'm gonna get to that. So I wasn't a big fan of Shelby Oaks, the movie itself. The pacing was kind of all over the place. It was pretty messy. Didn't completely land for me. But at the same time, I'm really proud of Chris and what he pulled off. And whether the movie works for me or not, like, the fact that he built a fan base strong enough to crowdfund over $1 million is insane. Like, that alone is a win, you know?
It was produced by Neon, who is a big time company nowadays. You know,
Absolutely.
They're up there with A24 you know,
big indie production companies, but that alone is a win, right? I don't have to sit here and tell you I love the movie, but just the fact that he built a strong enough fan base to back that and build over $1 million is awesome. So I hope he gets more opportunities to keep going, to keep pursuing his dreams, because I'm going to support his work always. because he's inspired me to do the same. So I would give it a 2.5 out of 5. I think that's where I'm going. That's probably what I'll say about the movie. What about you?
So yeah, I mean, we touched on Chris Stuckman, how we're like biased towards him. We like him as a person. We love his YouTube and all everything we said previously. But as far as Shelby Oaks, the movie, I agree the pacing was off. I love the found footage inspired horror because I thought it was very cool. I thought it was a documentary at first. I'm like, damn, but then that's just his style. So I love that. I love this. I love how he established a style early. I love that about directors. Like when you couldn't tell they have a style. I don't know. To me, it separates you from the rest. Um, so like Doc said, I'm a chicken shit. I'm not gonna lie. This movie created lots of suspense for me. I was shitting my pants a lot of the time. You can ask, I mean, Felipe probably saw me. You guys were laughing at me jumping a couple of times. But in my opinion, the first act was strong. It got me into it. I was like, what's going on? And then it had me excited to discover like the truth and what's been happening, you know? And I think the emotional anchor of the movie was the sisterhood between the the main character and her sister. And that was the emotional part of this movie, which was cool. I liked it. But I don't know. Overall, I think this movie succeeds in tone and mood over the narrative and clarity. You know what I mean? It's ambitious and it's uneven at times, but it's interesting. You know, I liked it. I think it's bold as a debut. But with that being said, I'm giving it roughly a 2 out of 5, but I put 3 out of 5.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm more generous for my reviews, though. You know that.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, I agree. He was more focusing on like the tone and trying to get that like sinister vibe going on. But like the whole thing with her and her sister, like I wanted more out of that. It just felt very, very like flat, especially towards the end of the movie. No, that wrapped up, but yeah, I agree. I went 2.5. You went 2.5 too?
I went 3
Okay, 3 out of 5.
because
Okay.
we stay with 2.5, 3. We don't do in betweens. But if I had to do in between, I'll probably say 2.8. You know what I mean? But
Okay, so 3.
so 3 out of 5. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about another movie that came out this year. Let's talk about The Running Man. This is yeah. So okay. So what's interesting about this movie, right, is that this isn't just a redo of the 1987 one with Schwarzenegger, which I actually haven't seen. But from what I understand, this new one is closer to the original Stephen King novel because this is a Stephen King novel. But yeah, I haven't seen The Running Man with Schwarzenegger. I love Schwarzenegger, so like that's something I definitely got to do. But anyways, Edgar Wright directs it. The cast is stacked. It has Glenn Powell, has Josh Brolin, Coleman Domingo, William H. Macy, Michael Cera, staff cast. But before we talk about it though, I think we should talk about Edgar Wright for a moment. Cause okay, so this is his filmography, right? He did Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End, right? Those 3 off rip, the Simon Pegg and Nick Frost trilogy, right? The Cornell trilogy, bangers.
Absolutely.
Before The World's End, he did Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which is my personal favorite of his work. If you haven't seen Scott Pilgrim, like you should definitely watch that. Then he does Baby Driver after that. Or sorry, he does Baby Driver after The World's End, which I loved seeing his take on like a heist film. That was pretty cool. Then he did Last Night in Soho, which is where, for me personally, he fell on a cliff. That did not land for me at all. Yeah. And then we got The Running Man. So when it comes to Edgar Wright, bro, like, I mean, I think I speak for both of us. We've really liked his work. We think he's like very talented. We love his mix of comedy and.
He used to be a favorite of mine. Like he was one of my favorite directors at one point.
Yeah, and yeah. So lately, his work hasn't been hitting, especially since Last Night in Soho. And then his follow up to that is this. So overall, I thought he started off pretty strong.
Very strong.
I thought the world building was sick. The energy was high. I find a lot of charm with Glen Powell. I really like like his
His demeanor.
his charisma. Yeah, very like, you know, and there was a lot I like visually, you know. So it started off strong. The whole concept of turning survival into entertainment and broadcasting and like broadcasting it as like a reality show, like I thought that gave some cool like commentary on like media and how far people will go for attention. Which I think is more relevant now than in the 1980s when they made the shows on everyone,
For sure.
But yeah, this is actually another instance where I think the pacing gets pretty uneven as it keeps going. Like it starts out strong and then it kind of loses itself as it goes.
Yeah.
Certain parts don't hit as clean as others. It was still a fun time though. It was still a really fun time. Even without having seen the 80s on version, it's cool to see how, and I hate remakes, but it's cool to see how a remake could be maybe more relevant for an audience like that. I'm not opposed to all remakes. You're gonna hear me be opposed to a lot of modern remakes. That tends to be like Hollywood's like formula of like cash grabbing. But sometimes I think remakes are due. Sometimes, and I think this is one of them.
Yeah.
So I honestly had a good time. I'll give it like a 3.5 out of 10. Or sorry, 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you covered the Edgar Wright part. I was gonna say, like, he used to be one of my favorite directors. The Cornetto trilogy alone, and then Baby Driver to me was one of my. It probably is one of my favorite movies ever. I love that movie.
Yeah.
And just after that, just fell off, dude. Like that fall needs to get studied. Like, what the fuck happened, bro?
That was weird.
I don't know what happened, but whatever. I still think this movie was a fun movie. Super cool concept. Stephen King's a genius. Super entertaining. Grabbed you from the jump. The first act was great. I agree with that. I just wish that third act was stronger, man. Like, it just fell off me in the third act. It was just very anticlimactic. If they would have finished strong with a punch there, like, this would have been one of the best movies of the year. But it just fell off at the end there, you know? Just the same way that his filmography has fallen off. That the last third act just kind of went downhill for me.
Yeah.
But in total, in conclusion, I still had a great time. So I'm still gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5 as well. But man, it was so close to being like potentially a 4.5 out of 5. I just wish it would have sealed the deal, but
yeah,
in my opinion, it just fell off for me.
Yeah. Well, speaking of filmographies that haven't fallen off, I think that's a perfect route to go into the next story.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it.
Yeah. First, give them a little background of Yorgos.
Yeah. So the one we were talking about is Bugonia. I want to cover this director, Yorgos Lanthimos. Crazy name. He's Greek.
Yorgos Lanthimos.
All right. The movie that really put him on the map was Dogtooth. That put him on the map. I saw it. I know MC hasn't. If you've seen it, yeah. He's known for his weird shit. Okay, that I think that should be the disclaimer. If you haven't heard Yorgos, you got to know that before you get into him. He's known for weird shit, very weird. So you can only imagine what put him on the map was really weird, right? Then he goes on to do The Lobster with A24, and with who is it?
The Lobster?
Yeah. He does it with Colin Farrell and Rachel Weisz with A24. That obviously brought him up a whole different level. Then he did The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Love that movie,
which was also A24. And then that really was like, for me at least, that's when I was like, okay, wait, this guy fucking rocks.
Yeah, that was fire. Colin Farrell and
right.
Kidman.
Yeah, and then a year later he does The Favorite, which ironically is my favorite. So, I'll never forget the theater experience I had watching that, because it was arguably my favorite movie that year. And then he takes kind of a hiatus, or he kind of goes
until Poor Things, right?
Yeah. So 2018 and then 2023 he does Poor Things, and the wait was kind of worth it because
from here on out, from Poor Things on, he goes on a crazy run.
Yeah.
Crazy run.
Yeah. So let's get into that. So Poor Things, right? Like it went crazy in the Oscars. Emma Stone won her Best Actress. Next year, off rip, he does Kinds of Kindness, which is his only thing that I have not seen. Um, I've heard very mixed things, like not not the best things. But I actually heard some people really like it. But I'm since Yorgos are my favorites working right now, I'll definitely check that out, especially since there's a lot of actors that me and I really love, like Clemens, Defoe, Emma Stone, like those three alone. And then of course that leads to 2025 where he does Bugonia.
So let me kick us off here.
Go for it.
Because Bugonia, so yeah, it stars Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, and those two actors specifically are two of my favorite actors working today. Plemons, I've been a fan of for a long time. My brother knows it. And Emma Stone has just been arguably the best actress of the last decade, you can say. And one of the she's put herself on the map as one of the best actresses of all time, I think. It's bold, but I think it's safe to say. I am not the biggest Yorgos fan. I respect his work. I think he has great work. But a lot of his movies never hit with me. Killing of a Sacred Deer was my favorite Yorgos movie. And then The Favorite never got to me. I was always kind of bored. I don't know. This movie, though. Damn. This one hit for me. This is my favorite Yorgos movie by far.
Oh, wow.
Without a doubt. I mean, it was Killing of a Sacred Deer, like I said, and this one surpassed it by a significant margin. This movie is a crazy sci-fi satire. The tone shifts between like hilarious comedy elements, but then it has genuine like psychological thriller vibes. And it may catch viewers off guard, but it makes the experience memorable, bro. I don't know. Always like me just saying these things just reminding me of different scenes.
Yeah.
But there's so much stuff about this. Clemens Giz arguably, I think, is one of his best performances to date. I mean, he was freaking nuts in this movie. Emma Stone is just Emma Stone, Emma Stone is Freddie Freeman. You put her up to the plate, she's gonna get the job done.
That's a great cop.
That's just what she does. Bro.
She's literally Freddie Freeman.
And this is without a doubt a candidate for movie of the year for me. I think this is, in my opinion, the second best movie I've seen this year behind One Battle After Another. And this is one of my favorite movies that I've seen. And it's really relevant to like today in society and the way, conspiracies are in today's world. I think it's a movie for everyone. I think it's really cool. There's weird elements, but it's cool and it's a fun time. And with that being said, I give Bugonia a 5 out of 5. A perfect score. This is one of my favorite movies of the year and arguably of all time, bro. I love this movie.
Oh my God. I didn't know you liked it that much.
So
I'm just finding this out with like a lot of everybody.
In my 2025 ranked movie, this is second for me right now. Behind One Battle After Another. And we already know how I feel about One Battle After Another.
We'll talk about that in another episode. It's probably for like a last one.
But yes, this movie was just
wow.
And that's considering that I'm not a Yorgos guy.
Yeah, that's true. Like this is the first time I'm hearing this because that's like actually crazy to me. So just to bounce off that, I am a Yorgos guy. This is one of the directors that me and my brother have like really opposing views of because his movies are really out there. They're very weird and they're about like the human nature and they're very out there. But
it's hard to even explain.
Yeah. They're all pretty fucking nuts. And this one, just like his other work, is nuts.
I think it's more accessible than all the other ones.
Yes. It is, but it's still fucking weird.
Yeah.
So this is my favorite movie that I watched this month. Emma Stone, as you mentioned, she's like on a generational run right now. She's just so good in everything, bro. Like everything she's in, she's so good, especially here. As MC mentioned, we've been huge Jesse Plemons fans ever since we saw Breaking Bad. Like we were like, dude, this guy rocks. And then from Breaking Bad, he does Game Night, where he totally steals the show as like the supporting actor there. He does Part of the Dog. He does a bunch of great work throughout his career, but he finally gets his main character role. he's never really been a main character until here. So like
Yeah.
that was one. That was honestly walking into this movie. That was the thing I was looking forward to the most. Because I've seen Emma Stone carry movies. I've seen Yorgos' movies. I wanted to see him really take off, and he did, because he's just so fucking unhinged in this movie. I love him. He will get nominated for Best Actor, as he should. I can't wait for him to get the recognition that he's deserved for years. And yeah, I really love him in this movie. It's hard to talk about what, I mean, you can talk about the movie's about. I don't want to, if you don't know what the movie's about, read like a brief synopsis, but yeah, there's a twist at the end, and it's just chaotic. It's a simple premise that works so well with like these two like amazing actors.
It's so fun though.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. Has a lot to say about corporations causing real harm, about how humans are the real problem. It has a lot of shit to say, actually.
You want to hear my Jesse Plemons player comp?
Logan Webb?
Oh, yeah, they're twins. You know what? Even as like, that's kind of what it is too. That's a good player comp too.
Yeah, but yeah, that is a good.
Because they deserve more recognition.
Not only are Logan Webb and Jesse Plemons like low-key twins,
they're twins. You gotta put a picture them side by side.
100, yeah. But they have been under the radar, but excelling so consistently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, honestly, that's better than what I was gonna say. Yeah, no.
And they haven't gotten award recognition, but now they could be. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's like the perfect comp. Why? What was your comp?
No, that's way better. So I like Logan way better. I was gonna give you a Klay Thompson just because I love him and he's underrated.
Yeah,
and he's always been the secondary guy. You know,
true.
But no, honestly,
but there was another guy from the Bay that's better.
Yeah,
Logan Webb. Yeah, nah, dude, that's for fire. Anyways, we love Jesse Plemons, and he was great in this. And
all right, let's go to Rental Family.
Wow. So yeah, this one came out of nowhere, right?
Yeah,
I feel like I heard about it maybe a week before I saw it, and we saw it off rip. And this was directed by Hikari. She's like a Japanese filmmaker, but her I guess one of her only works, and her most notable work, is the show Beef, the Netflix show Beef. And I've heard I heard a bunch of my friends saying it's awesome, that you have to check it out. They're making a second season, but it's like an anthology series, meaning like the second season has nothing to do with the first one. But you know what I'm saying?
Like True Detective, kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
Like True Detective, American Horror Story. So it's gonna be like, yeah. So before that season comes out, I want to watch the first season, especially after watching Rental Family, because I really enjoyed this. It is like such a honest movie, and it's such a like beautiful like exploration of connection and loneliness and the roles we play in other people's lives. The concept of the movie starts kind of like comedic. Like it's like, okay, like he's just playing different roles in people's lives, okay. But then it becomes something like really moving as it unfolds, when you start to realize he starts like getting close to those people that he's, I guess, working for. And for the majority of the movie, he plays like this father figure in this little girl's life. He takes care of this elderly man, and you see him build these relationships, and it's so beautiful because I'm not gonna say why, but Brendan Fraser, he is the heart and soul of this movie. He's great. I just love him. You want to give him a hug every time you just see him. Like, you know, you really feel for him here, and I really love the ending too. It ties everything together in a way that feels so human and earned, and it's easily one of the most heartfelt movie I've seen all year, for sure. This was such a surprise. As of right now, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. But I was genuinely considering 4.5. I just want to see how it ages on me. But this was so hard. It just felt like a soup. You know what I'm saying? It just felt like a soup on a cold day, man. Like I just love heartwarming movies when I feel like I need them. And this was one that I felt like I needed, so.
Bro, I love this movie. I mean, it has a lot of heart. Very, very pure movie. Like, it's one of those feel good movies. It's one of those movies that anybody can see. You know, you go to the movie, you walk out feeling uplifted. You know, it's just a good vibe, man. It's a hug movie. I think I not maybe not Brendan Fraser, but it's just one of those warm movies. You know what I mean? Like, but it really dives into the human experience, and I love that. You know, like it really shows how one person's interaction with another can change their entire life if it has the potential to do that. And I just love how the message that it shows, how powerful interactions with one another, you know, how powerful that really is. Um, it's something that us humans kind of forget, especially now being on our phones and being distracted by other things. But something simply just thanking someone goes a long way, man. And this movie dives very deep into just the whole element of human interaction and being there for us. And I love that. I really, really love it. I think it's great. It's a great message for today's, especially. And Brendan Fraser was awesome. I think he's a guy. He won Best Actor for The Whale, which was deserving. And I think he's a guy that should get more credit. I think he's awesome, and he was awesome in this. He's probably not going to get recognition for this, since this year's a stacked year. It looks like for Best Actor, but he was great. I'd love to see him get some recognition. But yeah, and I'm kind of like you. I'm in the same boat. I want to give it a 4.5 out of 5, but I don't know. I can't give it yet, so I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So that leads us into Now You See Me, Now You Don't, and this is the third installment of that franchise.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll start off.
Start us off.
So, for me, the title is pretty ironic.
Now You See Me,
Now you don't. It's almost like the movie saying that because I saw it and now I'll probably never watch it again. I feel like I've seen this movie before. Like it was very recyclable. Like it was a very recycled movie from the previous ones. Feels pretty unnecessary. Feels like a cash grab. Like, well, let's just make another sequel. You know, because I guess these performed well in the past.
yeah.
Walked away feeling. It's one of those movies that I swear you just watch and you kind of just don't talk about it after, or you just kind of walk away and be like, all right, and then you just go on by your life. You know, like it doesn't, like I don't know, it had no impact on me. The twists, or I guess the twists. You know, like how every Asian movie has. They feel more like gimmicks than like cool reveals. It felt kind of like, I don't know,
But cheap.
yeah. Especially them like putting in these like Gen Z actors in there instead of like the guys that I think I'd rather watch. Felt very weird. I mean, it just didn't end for me. Um, Not terrible. It's not a horrible movie. It's not. Definitely the least essential thing I saw this month. But you know, I got popcorn in my mouth, and those. I guess that's what I got from this movie. So I guess I'll go with. I'll be a little generous because I don't think it's horrible, and I had a decent time. So I'll go 2.5 again out of 5.
It's very generous of you.
Yeah, because I was thinking of 2, and I was like, yeah, I don't know.
Bro, I mean, you hit it on the nose, I guess, in a way. It's
Now you see me, now you don't. It's perfect time to fucking movie.
yeah, like it went. I saw it and then I just forgot about it. But it's a your typical Now You See Me movie. If you like the other ones, you'll like this.
Sure.
Fun time. That's pretty. I'm looking at my notes. I just pretty much have fun time. I'm a big Woody Harrelson fan. Loved seeing him. I love the way he is and everything and anything that he does. Specifically, True Detective. If you've never seen True Detective, we saw it recently. Go watch the first season only. Him and Matthew McConaughey kill it. But
It's
yeah. But I digress there. But back to this movie. Yeah, man. I mean, it was just a fun time. That's pretty much all I can tell you. And I don't even know what else to say.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 3 out of 5. I thought it was fun. I had a good time. You know?
Yeah. No.
Got its money's worth,
Yeah.
and then I left. That's it. You know?
Yeah. And that's in terms of the movies. That's all we saw together this month.
At the theater. Oh,
At the theaters.
yeah.
Right. Or yeah, I guess together in general.
Yeah.
We both saw a movie that the other didn't. I mean, where do you want to start off with, me or you?
Or do you want to talk about Pluribus? Because we were watching that
We
together.
did see that together, and obviously it's still
We're
going.
gonna wrap it up with Pluribus then.
Yeah, exactly. We're right later.
All right. I'll
Let's get
start it off since I didn't say much about Now You See Me.
okay.
I saw The Devil's Advocate. It was a recommendation from a friend of mine named Adam. Um, and man, it's one of those classics that I felt guilty of not seeing. He gave me shit for it, like, dude, how can you have not seen this? You claim to love movies. You gotta watch this. So I finally watched it. Um, it was good. It was good. Being in law school, I enjoyed a lot of the law aspects it had to it. Keanu Reeves plays an attorney who's killing the game in Jacksonville, Florida, and bottom line, he gets recruited to a big law firm,
In
and
Jacksonville,
yeah,
Duval County.
Duval County,
Oh shit!
and
I haven't seen it, by the way.
and Al
I
Pacino
can't comment on it.
and Al Pacino's the head of a big law firm in New York, and he basically recruits this guy, and things go haywire. Things go different directions. The movie was way darker than I thought it would be. I thought it was gonna be like your typical drama, but there were a lot of horror elements that I'm not expecting to this.
Really?
Yeah, and there were
Cool. That's my side of town.
yeah. I mean, nothing that like I'm not talking about gore or like jump scares, but like a lot of things that I was like, damn, that's kind of creepy, you know. And I didn't expect that, but a lot of cool plot twists. And my biggest takeaway from this movie is just this guy right here, man. This guy,
Yo, I didn't even realize that you're writing that.
yeah,
Yeah, that was mad.
because bro, this guy is just he's simply him.
Yeah.
Like this is like a standard role for him. This is not Michael Corleone. This is not Dog Day Afternoon. It is like a typical movie for him,
But it's Pacino.
and it's just like amazing. It's just like insane how good he is, bro. I can't even. He's just 101, bro, and he kills his role. He's a beast. But with that being said, I gave this a 4 out of 5. I loved it. I had a good time. It was fun, and
So, since I haven't seen it, would you recommend it?
yeah, I think just like he told me, like it's a classic you gotta see. You know what I mean?
Cool. Yeah. And I'm entering law school, so maybe yeah, I like horror elements maybe more than you. So maybe I'll catch up. And I also love Keanu's in it, right?
Keanu's the main guy.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I better check it out. Um, I saw Gilda. Gilda's an older movie. I'm very into older movies. But I saw this on a plane, back home, and I mean, I could hear your reviews in 2 words. And I could just say Rita Hayworth. Her star power is nuts.
Star power, like her screen presence.
Ugh. Every time she appears, bro, she could power the fucking plane out on, like, by herself.
Damn.
She's just so wow. Like, yeah. Like when she's not in the movie, like you feel it. It's like,
Yeah, like get better on it.
yeah. So she's the pulse of the movie. It's a pro and a con. Because without her, it's kind of like, all right, let's get back to her. Dialogues when they're standout, as many noirs of the time were like very well written. It's almost like not even human. It's like in terms of like the way they talk, like they're very like classical noir, theatrical like dialogue.
Yeah.
So like the dialogue's great. It's just not like a natural human conversation would go.
Say that the 1940s kind of dialogue, or is it just this specific?
Yeah. It's like any noir you've seen. I mean, not any noir, but like it's very like rich. But yeah, and then rewatching it now, that dynamic between the character Gilda and the guy Johnny hit a little different. So yeah, yeah, because like the whole premise is that he starts to work for a casino in Buenos Aires, and his boss that he's working for, he comes back from a trip with a new wife, and it's like his like ex thing, and so it's interesting, but yeah, they had like this messy, passionate history, and then the way they try to leave the past behind, it resonated with me. But anyways, the film ended kind of abruptly. Like it like ends in a weird way. Like it ended really quick, and it didn't land for me at all. But yeah, just Rita Hayworth, like her presence alone makes the movie worth a watch for sure.
Which is hard.
I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
Yeah. I mean, I love noirs. Like I love those crime.
Me too.
With femme fatale, with like a woman into it. Like I love that.
Hitchcock, right?
But they're right, exactly. But there are better noirs to watch. But Rita Hayworth is just amazing. That's my Rita Hayworth. 3 out of 5. And yeah, let's get into Pluribus.
All right.
So we're not gonna okay, just to let everyone know. Obviously, the show is currently still going on. We saw the first like 5.
Episode like 6 is coming out on Friday.
Right. So we saw like the first 5 episodes so far. So we're not going to talk much about it because once the show ends, we'll come back. Probably for the December. I think it'll end in December. So when we do our December recap, we'll talk about the entire season. But
we could do a review on the whole show.
We could. But anyways,
depending on this.
So yeah, Pluribus is from Vince Gilligan, who made Breaking Bad. If you haven't seen Breaking Bad, what are you doing?
And that was enough. Just hearing that was enough to say.
It was enough for us. Yeah. So once we heard that he was making another show with Alvin to do, we're like, okay, yeah, we're watching.
Yeah.
We didn't even know what it was about. And then when we saw a teaser, that teaser had us like, what the fuck is going on? Like what are we even watching right now? Yeah. It left it so vague, but I pray that bigger studios watch stuff like that. I want trailers to be like that. I don't want the whole movie to be revealed in the trailer. Stuff like that where it's just like, okay, what is happening? I want to hear more. Or I want to see more. They got like watch any of the Pluribus teasers and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But the show's tone, it picks up from the teaser. Like the whole show is kind of like a teaser. So if you want to get a gist of how the show is, just watch the teaser. Yeah, just watch the teaser. I'll start off, or you want to start off?
I'll start off. You're gonna start off?
Go ahead. But keep it vague because we're gonna talk about it later. Just
no. I'm not gonna get into. I'm not gonna talk about what's going on in the show at all.
Yeah.
No spoilers, obviously. Obviously, like I said, Vince Gilligan being the guy behind it, that was enough for me. Breaking Bad is arguably my favorite show ever. I think this is the new show of the decade, along with Severance. I think these two shows are like gonna carry television. Like these two shows are it, and they're both Apple. And I'm gonna start off with the pilot. The pilot is one of the best pilots I've ever seen. I'm not even exaggerating. It sounds like I'm talking crazy, but I'm just being honest. You want to talk about a show grabbing you from the get go and leaving you like what? It's this one. This pilot just grabs you, and it leaves you asking so many questions. Like you're like, what? It's like so much. Every episode, like I will say, after the pilot, you're not gonna get as much density in the next few episodes, but each episode builds on itself, like, and it continues throughout each episode. Oh, okay, I got this. Oh, okay, and it keeps building and building.
And it's kind of like Severance in the sense where like every episode you watch, it's like it's giving you information, but it's also giving you more questions.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it's like, and that formula, it's bro. Well, it's like putting like chips in front of me. Like if you give me the whole bag, I'll probably empty the whole bag. That's like it's just, bro, give me it. I'm gonna watch. I'll be back next week. I'll be back next Friday to watch the next episode. You're giving me more questions and you're answering. So I'm like, it's satisfied, but I'm taking. Bro.
Perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Perfect analogy. So then building on that, there's also this like uneasiness aspect to the show. And like it kind of creeps you out. There were scenes, I mean, like I said, I'm a chicken, but I jumped. And it's not even like you have to see it. But
yeah.
There's this uneasiness aspect to the show. It's like, damn, kind of creepy.
Yeah. Definitely.
And to wrap up my review kind of is Vince Gilligan sticks to his style from Breaking Bad. So, with the shots, silent openings, imagery, and he just knows how to build tension, and he does that in this as well. So if you like Breaking Bad and a lot of elements from there, he recycles that and uses it here also. And dude, for me, we're only in episode 5, so I don't even want to give it a rating. Yeah, well, like this is amazing. I'm hooked. I'm hooked, and I'm not the biggest show guy, but yeah. I mean, do I even give a rating? Like, if I had to, it's a 5 out of 5. I'm like, it's just like,
No, yeah. We'll give it season 1 rating, like when it finishes.
yeah, because we're
But
done. But
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep it short because I want to talk about the whole season, and you already touched on a lot of things that I wanted to mention. Um, yeah, if you are if you have time, the thing is shows are it's a commitment because it's a lot, but since it's currently going on, just dedicate 45 minutes of your day to just watch an episode because it's worth it. Just watch the first episode. If you don't like the first episode, turn it off. But I promise you, you'll keep watching it. Um, it's it has that potential. It has that. I don't know. I so far it's a killer show. It has Vince Gilligan's, like those openings where it's not a lot of dialogue. It's like, okay, like what's going on?
I love that.
How does it tie into the show? And it also has his awesome use of music sometimes, like because he's very selective about that. He doesn't use music a lot, but when he does it, those are the perfect needle drops. And because the last episode, um, I mean, I'm not gonna talk about anything crazy, but there's a scene where she's like going through medication. Yeah, right. He plays this song called "Vessel." I had to literally Spotify it. He plays a song called "Vessel" by John Lemke. And bro, it's like, dude, this fits perfect. But anyways, I don't want to talk about it too much because we're talking about it later. But anyways, guys, we didn't watch a lot this month, but it's great to finally talk about movies here because we talk about movies probably as much as sports, which is saying a lot. And so we're really looking forward to keep talking about movies. But yeah, what did you guys watch this month? You guys have any recommendations for us? Because we're always looking for some.
Yeah, put us on. Put us
out, yeah, for sure. So we'll be back next month, probably with more movies. But regardless, we thank you for watching. And again, comment. Tell us what you want us to watch. We'll probably shout you out if you put a movie there and watch it. So like and subscribe as always. And thanks for watching.
Hey,
See you next time.